What is an idea? An idea is like a virus, resilient, highly contagious, and even the smallest seed of an idea can grow. It can grow to define or destroy you. When the viewers of Inception are drawn into the various monologues offered by Don Cobb over the course of 148 minutes, a particular standing point is this quote on films. While it may seem like the generic ramblings of a con man trying to seem smart, this quote, metaphorically speaking, represents the entire film and quite possibly every invention, fantasy, craze, and obsession conceived by mankind. Think about it. Everything from the first caveman wielding weapons to the French Revolution to the World Wide Web has been the product of the metamorphosis of an idea. And if you were wondering that an idea is just some abstract concept with no particular use or shape, well, this talk could spur the metamorphosis of a new, shiny idea in your mind. But first, let us collectively think about the metaphysics of an idea. What exactly is an idea? If you have ever thought about this question, you are not alone. Scores of philosophers have contemplated the meaning and a purpose of the idea. But two particular theories stand out, Descartes and Locke. René Descartes, the French polymath, came up with modern-day understanding of an idea. He termed ideas as the representation or depiction of something in the mind, not a visual image as such, just a simple representation of something in the mind. And John Locke adopted this theory and went on to term ideas as objects of knowledge that arise from thinking. And today, when you say that, oh, I got an amazing idea, you are adopting Descartes' theory of ideas, a representation in the mind. So if this representation comes in the mind, how exactly does it come? Where does it come from? Do we know? We actually don't. And I know it's anticlimactic to just walk up to a TEDx talk and say, I don't know. But that is the truth. Cognitive brain research has a long way to go. We do not know how many neurons it takes for an idea to manifest. We do not even know whether the birthplace of an idea differs based on the type of idea. We don't know the acute correlations between creativity, brain activity, and idea creation. While we may not know so many of these things about an idea, we do know that an idea does not come from a eureka moment. When Archimedes said eureka and ran across the town, it was not just a simple idea that just came across in the mind. An idea is the seamless integration of different moments, conjunctures, and conjectures that come together to form a collage of sorts, an idea. And this idea can do marvels. Let's say you have an idea. You are just a normal man in the 1930s with an idea to start an airline. Where does this idea come about? If you were J.R.D. Tata, this idea would come from your love of flying, your close association with Louis Blériot, the aviation pioneer, and your dream to start the first Indian airline. It is precisely these kind of moments that come together to create an idea. And an idea slowly gains traction from its small beginnings in the mind, slowly, like a snowball down a mountain. Broadly speaking, there are two types of transformation of the idea, from figmentation to fruition. This random erratic transformation and the systematic. The first kind of transformation is quick and unanticipated. Let's say you're sitting in classroom, daydreaming, wondering how useless homework is, and you suddenly get an idea to eradicate all homework. And you think it's a revolutionary idea, it's going to change the world, and your mind travels places it has never gone before. This is precisely the random and erratic transformation. When I got this idea to speak at a TEDx event, my mind did a mental gymnastics routine on what I could possibly talk about. Could I talk about the millions of Earth-like planets and how we could possibly conduct interstellar travel to one of these planets? Could I talk about how life today has become like the Truman Show? What could I possibly do? And it is with this kind of transformation that the end point of an idea is completely unpredictable due to the random nature of the transformation. But the second type of metamorphosis, it's rather slow, and it requires thought and introspection. Now, I know you're sitting there thinking, doesn't every idea require thought and introspection? Otherwise, it doesn't make sense, does it? Well, you're right, but this particular idea requires both thought and introspection. And it is these type of ideas that often need to pass certain mental checkpoints, barriers, or boundaries. And often these ideas tend to have a greater impact. Allow me to explain. Let's say there is a proposal to implement recycling bins outside every government building in the state. This idea would be expected to undergo the slow metamorphosis route simply due to the volume of work expected. A bill would need to be written, it would need to be discussed, amended, dissected, etc. And you get the point. These type of ideas require far more work, thought, and contemplation. The second type of this that I mentioned, the random and erratic transformation. The pinnacle of such a transformation is scene improvisation. Let's say there is a scene. Actors come up with various improvisations, and the journey from storyboard to film is completely haphazard due to the improvisations made. This is how random and erratic transformation would work. Despite the various differences, these two transformations reveal the beauty behind the metamorphosis of an idea. Neither is the transformation of an idea guaranteed, nor can we predict the endpoint of an idea based on its original goal. If I got an idea to play football, I don't know if I'm going to go to the club level or I'm going to become an international superstar. And the main reason for this is the variable nature of life. Think about it. The millions of changes of life that have taken place over a long period of time. But what is it that prompts the human mind to undergo such endeavors if we do not know the end path of such ideas? Why do we even come up with ideas if we're not going to know what it's going to become like, whether it's even going to be successful or what it's going to do? Is it simply the positive bias that humans have? Or is it the love for the unknown and just, doing something completely random and coming up with something new? Or is it simply the human condition, the way it's been for thousands of years? Who knows? Maybe the future knows. And maybe that's for another TED Talk. But today, this is it. Thank you.